Hello, guys and girls. It, it is I, Aaron Halo 18 here. Guys and girls, and today I'm gonna do a review on a movie review on Dunkirk, the movie. Now I saw it yesterday with my father and my friend Mark Frendel and his brother Stephen Frendel, and they all loved the movie and everybody enjoyed the movie. I gave the movie a 10 out of 10, and yeah, I said that I saw Dunkirk yesterday with my father and two of my friends at the IMAX Irvine Spectrum. And I gave the movie 10 out of 10. We really enjoyed the movie we saw today, and I would highly recommend you to see it for yourself. Yes, it is a World War II movie, and it's based on real, actual events on a place called Dunkirk in England, I think. Their homeland is England, and they had scenes with land, water. They had parts with the boats and airplanes and stuff like that. And a lot of ships were blown up and destroyed. The movie. It was an all war movie. And they mentioned Winston Churchill in the movie as well from that time period. And it had two F-bombs in the movie and some language and stuff. It's got it's a Christopher Nolan movie, and it's got some similar actors from other Christopher Nolan movies. Tom Hardy was from the Inception and the Dark Knight trilogy, and so was the guy who played Scarecrow. Was in this movie as well. And he by accident killed a kid on a boat. I guess in one part. That was pretty sad that that kid died. He got a head injury and died from that. It was a pretty intense movie and stuff. I really enjoyed it. In this movie, it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. And the cinematography was beautiful as well. It was just a great movie. I really had a lot of fun watching this film. And hopefully they'll make more. Hopefully Christopher Nolan will make more movies in the future. I'm sure he will. He makes up a lot of money on these movies, and I guess this movie did really well. A lot of people really enjoyed it, I guess. And I don't know why I gave it a 10 out of 10, but because I just really enjoy Christopher Nolan movies. I liked all of his movies. They were pretty good. Inception was a good one. Interstellar was another good one, but this one was good. I gave it a 10 out of 10 for the cinematography and the scenery and all that. That's why I gave it a 10 out of 10. And it was really interesting. And they were stranded at this like little town called Dunkirk, I guess. In like Sweden or Sweden, I think. Somewhere in Europe. Yeah. They were all throughout the whole movie, trying to go home to England. And then eventually a bunch of boats and people and ships came to pick everybody up, but they were trying throughout the movie a little bit. Some ships were three ships that sank in the movie, and there was no heroes or bad guys in the story. The Nazis were the bad guys, and the good guys were the British. It was mostly focused on the British Army, and then two pilots from the British Air Force, and a bunch of the foot soldiers and stuff like that as well. They had like a lot of beach scenes, and they had a train scene in the movie, and I would highly recommend everyone to see this movie. It's PG-13 and stuff, and I think everybody can, but everybody can see it. But don't. But uh, but this movie was really fantastic, and I really would see it again. If I could, I have to wait until my dad downloads it to watch it again, I guess, and I love doing reviews for you guys and girls, and I just wanted to share what I do in my life and stuff. And movie reviews are important to me, and I enjoy doing this. And it's a pretty nice day here, a little chilly, but no mind in the background noises or anything. I mean, I don't know if you can hear anything, but yeah, we do have a good rest of the day and try to breathe well. And there are some treatments here and there, but mostly I did this movie review was really fantastic, and I really think that I don't know if it was badass or anything, but yeah, it was a pretty decent movie. And there are a lot of familiar faces in the movie, and I mean, two of the actors I really know. I don't know anybody else in the movie. And I didn't do a lot of talking throughout the whole movie. It's a 2-hour movie, and stuff. And I guess it's a true story movie. And Tom Hardy was the airplane pilot, and he was captured by the Nazis in the movie after he kind of crashed landed, but he took the wheels down, and after he got on the airplane, he took a match and threw it in the airplane, and it burned the airplane and stuff. And then he was captured by the Nazis in the movie, I guess. But everybody else, there was a captain on the dock pier thing on the island. He stayed behind, and the Tom Hardy pilot was captured. When everybody else left, and they went home to England. They showed the white cliffs of England, I guess. And that was quite beautiful too. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful things about this movie, and it was a good afternoon, and my breathing was pretty good for that movie. And, yeah, I usually go to Irvine Spectrum in the city of Irvine, California. That is, and yeah. And I was trying to meet everybody. I was trying to say, I like to say hello out loud to a bunch of people everywhere in public. I like to do that because it makes me super important to do that, and I wish I could share the good news with people in the community more. That's what, and I take my friends Mark and Steven to the movies because my dad appreciates their constant visit to my Bible studies every week. They're really good friends, and they're great guys and they're nice boys, and they're starting to move into a house with each other. Their grandmother left them, and they're going to move in with roommates, and that's going to be a good experience for them. So, and there's no way they can afford these kind of movies. So IMAX is a little pricey these days, if you ask me. They're like $22 for IMAX now. Even some of my friends have seen the movie, and Michael Johnson saw the IMAX. And the IMAX movie for this movie, it was quite loud. Actually, it was very loud, and they wear earplugs because it was so loud. And hopefully my dad will download it one day, soon, whenever it comes out. I don't know. It was a fantastic movie. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. I guess, and yeah. And I'm a really cool guy. And I watch really cool movies and stuff. I hope you guys liked my movie reviews I do. I try my best to do movie reviews and stuff like that. And I guess IMDb gave it a 8.4 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 93%, and Roger Ebert gave it a 3.5 out of 4. And yes, it's a drama film slash thriller movie. It's 2 hours, and yeah. But it was 100 million USD. The screenplay was Christopher Nolan, and Hans Zimmer was the music guy, and the director was Christopher Nolan. Yeah, this movie came out July 21st, 2017. And they have a little description of the movie. It says right here: in May 1940, Germany advanced into France, trapping Allied troops on the beaches of Dunkirk. Under air and ground cover from British and French forces, troops were slowly, methodologically evacuated from the beach using every serviceable naval and civilian vessel that could be found. At the end of this heroic mission, 330,000 French, British, Belgian, and Dutch soldiers were safely evacuated. And yeah, that's the movie for you. And some of the critics said Dunkirk isn't comfortable to watch. It never relents to relax, but at the same time, it's impossible to look away from it. Christopher Nolan revisits a harrowing story of survival and resistance in World War II with skill and craft. And yeah, I guess. I guess it was pretty cool. There's like the British eventually beat the the German planes in the movie. I guess. So and I guess the trailers look pretty good too. So a bunch of trailers for this movie was first announced and all of that, and Cillian Murphy is the guy who played Scarecrow from the Dark Knight trilogy. And Tom Hardy was Bane from the Dark Knight trilogy. In this movie, his name is Farrier. And Harry Styles is apparently as Alex, character named Alex. I don't really know. I don't know Cillian and Tom for this movie. Somebody else I don't really know who they are and stuff like that. And I guess it was just a fun movie. This movie is a 2017 war film. It's co-produced and directed by Christopher Nolan. Featuring an ensemble cast from Whitehead, Tom Hardy, Jack Lowden, Harry Styles, and Bernard James D'Arcy, Barry Cocan, Kenneth Burnett, Cillian Murphy, Mark Lyons, and Tom Hardy. It portrays the Dunkirk evacuation of the Second World War II. Distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures, the film is co-produced, co-production between the United Kingdom, the United States, France, and the Netherlands. Nolan wrote the script, told from the three perspectives, land, sea, and air. A little dialogue intended to create suspenseful through visuals and music. The movie began in May 2016 in Dunkirk, France, and ended that September in Los Angeles, where it began post-production. Cinematographer Natalia Van Hotima shot the film on IMAX 35mm and 35mm large format film stock and made extensive use of practical effects. They used very little CGI in this movie as well as employing thousands of extras, boats that had participated in the real Dunkirk evacuation, and using era-appropriate planes for the aerial sequences. Dunkirk premiered on 13 July 2017 at Odeon Lancaster Square in London, England, and was released in the United Kingdom, the United States on 21 July 2017 in IMAX 70mm and 35mm film. It had grossed over $378 million worldwide and received critical acclaim for all screenplay and direction. Acting and cinematography, the acting and cinematography were pretty good, and the screenplay and direction was pretty good. with some critics calling it Nolan's best film to date. Yeah, I would agree with that. As well as one of the greatest war films ever made, I guess. Yeah. And the producer was Emma Thompson, and also Christopher Nolan, and directed by him, Christopher Nolan, written by him. And I've named off all the actors. The movie and the music are already mentioned, and there's some number mentioned. But it was edited by Lee Smith, Charles Company, some company Inc. That's his company, I guess. And distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. And yeah, there are the release dates for this movie as well. The Netherlands is the 19th and 20th. The 19th was for France, and the 20th was for Netherlands. 21st was UK and here. And then also England, it was in England. The movie was 106 minutes. Country, United Kingdom, United States, France, Netherlands. Language, English. Yeah, this movie made $378.9 million in the box office. The budget was 100 million. And the language was English. The first part of the movie was called. There was the three sections were called. The mole. The mole, the sea, the air. And the box office said, as of 18 August 2008, Dunkirk grossed $158.8 million in the United States and Canada. And 218.1 million in other countries, for a worldwide total of 76.9 million against a production budget of 100 million. In the United States and Canada industry tracking, the film's opening weekend ranged from Variety's 30 to 40 million to Deadline.com's 35 million, while box office speculated on opening weekend at 55 million and a total of 220 million domestic gross. IndieWire speculated on an opening weekend of 50 million and 500 million worldwide gross. Dunkirk made 19.8 million on its first day, 25.5 million from preview screenings. It went on to finish first at the box office and marked the third largest opening for a World War II film, behind Captain America, The First Avengers, 62.1 billion, and Pearl Harbor's 29.1 billion, as well as the fourth largest opening of Nolan's career. In its second weekend, the film grossed 46.6 million, a drop of 44.3%, beating newcomer The Emoji Movie to the top spot. The film grossed 17.1 million in its third weekend, failing to second place in the box office behind newcomer The Dark Tower, 19.2 million, and again finishing second in its fourth week. This time behind Annabelle Creation with 10.9 million. The film opened in France on 19 July 2016 and made 2.2 million on its first day. It was released in 7 markets the following day, earning an additional 6.3 million on 21 July. The film was released in 46 countries and grossed 12.7 million from over 10,000 theaters, with 3.7 million from the United Kingdom. It ended up with an international ticket of 55.4 million, including 4.9 million in France, 12.4 million in the UK, and 10.3 million in Korea. I'm just gonna read the reception, the record on the whole Wikipedia page. It might take too long. And the next part is the critical response. Dunkirk received critical acclaim with praise for its direction, cinematography, and acting. Some critics called it Nolan's best film to date and one of the greatest war films ever. And the review aggregator, Rotten Tomatoes, it holds an approval rating of 93% up based on 319 reviews, with an average of 8.7 out of 10. The site's critical consensus reads, Dunkirk serves up emotional, satisfying spectacle, delivered by a writer-director in full command of his craft, and brought to life by a gifted ensemble cast that honors its fact-based story. On Metacritic, the film has a wide average score of 94 out of 100, based on 52 critics, indicating universal acclaim. According to Irvine, tonight, the film has an average note of 4.1 out of 5, based on 22 critics. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave an average grade of A- and an A+ to F scale. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian awarded the film 5 out of 5 and called it Nolan's best to date, saying Nolan surrounds his audience with chaos and horror from the outset, and amazing images of dazzling accomplished set pieces on a huge 70mm screen, particularly the platoon crammed with soldiers extending into the churning sea exposed to enemy aircraft. Tom McCarthy of the Hollywood Reporter also lauded the film, calling it an impressionist masterpiece and writing. Although the film is deeply moving at unexpected moments, it's not due to any manufactured sentimentality or false heroics. Bursts of emotion here. It's more like depth of charges at times, and memories that will no doubt vary from viewer to viewer. There's never a sense of Nolan. It's not like saying Spielberg manipulating the drama in order to play the viewer's heartstrings. Nor is there anything resembling a drawn swing his core to disturb the emotional plot. Peter DeBurge and Variety praised the detailed plot, calling Zimmer's musical score bombastic. Writing, Nolan has found a way to harness the technique in service of a kind of heightened reality, one that feels more immersive and immediate than whatever concerns we check at the door when entering the cinema. Meant a lot. Stories of the New York Times described the film as a tour de force of cinematic craft and technique, while she lauded Nolan's aesthetic approach to narrative as beautiful. Nick LaSalle of San Francisco Chronicle also praised the film, calling it a triumphant masterpiece while commending Nolan's unique style and approach to directing a war film, as well praising the performances. The Economist labeled Dunkirk as a remarkable film and a new classic. Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times hailed it as one of the best war movies of the decade and as tight, gripping, deeply involving, and unforgettable, and a triumph in filmmaking. Chris Nastaway of Entertainment Weekly scored the film an A, calling it the best of 2017. By the end of Dunkirk, what stands out the most isn't its inspirational message or everyday heroism. It's the small and undeniable, unshakable images that accumulate like the details in the corner of a mural. Robbie Coleman at the Daily Telegraph gave the film 5 stars out of 5, calling it as a work of heart, hammering intensity and grandeur that demands to be seen on the best and biggest screen within reach. Peter Travers of Rolling Stone awarded it his first 4-star rating of 2017 as maybe the greatest war film ever. And a work of significant artistic merit. There's little doubt that Nolan has, without sentimentally or sanctimony, raised that genre to the level of art. Dunkirk is a landmark with the resonant force of an enduring screen classic. He has called it the first major Oscar contender of the year. Bad Zorro says of RogerEbert.com gave it 3.5 out of 4, despite not liking the film, stating that he loathed parts of it and not other parts repetitive or half-baked, but maybe paradoxically I admired it throughout and have been thinking about it constantly since I saw it. This is a movie of vision and integrity made on an epic scale. It deserves to be seen and argued about. Sheiks met Anil of Lee Bundy praised its realism, but regretted that the film ignores the part played by French troops. Later in the Times gave it 2 out of 5. St. Dunkirk is 106 minutes of big screen bombast that's so concerned with its magical scale that it acts to deliver the most critical element and trauma. Troyer also stated that in comparison to other war films such as The Longest Day, A Bridge Too Far, and Saving Private Ryan, Dunkirk felt like a Call of Duty video game. David Cox of The Guardian criticized their inaccuracies, persistently, and female characters at a small scale, and over dramatization, simply characterized the cast and lack of suspense. I don't know if I agree with that last part, but it wasn't like Call of Duty. It was I don't care what other people say. I enjoy the movie myself. It's 10 out of 10 for me, I guess. And yeah, I did enjoy it. And I don't know why I do reviews a little long, but yeah, I just like doing these reviews for the world to hear on YouTube. Anybody who watches these videos, so I'm trying my best to make more YouTube videos for everybody. And go see it before it's out of the theater. Again, it'll be out of the theater soon. I don't know when, but yeah, someday it will be. And there's no other movies out right now, so I just have to wait for the next movies to come out. And now I probably won't be seeing Blade Runner 2049 because it's R-rated and stuff. But the next reviews will be for Justice League and the Thor and Episode 8 movie. And hopefully the Jumanji movie as well, and the other movies, I guess. And I really, and if anybody who did see it, I'm glad that you guys liked it and enjoyed it. It took me a long time to see it, but I finally saw it. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I saw it. Yeah. I read a lot here about it, so I hope you, this is, it is I, Aaron Halo 18, signing off, and see you in the next video, guys and girls. And as always, please rate, comment, like, favorite, subscribe, views, thoughts, and opinions. And I hope you liked it and enjoyed it for your viewing pleasure, guys and girls. And my favorite quotes from Ghost Rebel is, please drink some hot chocolate, and I'll see you all later.